turn. I Congratulations if you're tuning in. This is our first episode of Comms Chatter. I'm gonna let the fellas introduce themselves. We can start off with Premium Bucks over there.
Yo, welcome, Comms Shattered, Instant Transmission, and J2 Lives podcast for Destiny 2. Welcome.
Goddamn right, all day. Just heard you twice because
And-
my phone's mad loud.
And right here sitting in between us. we
Hey,
got
what's up?
MaxTorque.
MaxTorque. How you guys doing?
That was such a good introduction.
Yes,
Good
yes.
job, bro.
You know what?
So
I like
good.
to keep a little mystery in the voice, you know?
All right, yeah,
Right.
that must be what it is. All right, sounds good to me.
And then you do your hunter smoke dash away and just be gone for the rest of the whole thing. You're like,
Right.
"Oh."
You'll never hear me again.
But yeah, we this is the show. I mean, I did a little bit of a mini one earlier this week, as you guys probably already saw. If not, you'll see it across top the right part of your screen. I'll go ahead and throw a little link to that so you can see it later on in
There's
the
gonna
recording.
be so many links.
So many links. Right now, you're going to be visiting right now live on J2 Live while we're recording this. But yeah, we went into it a little bit yesterday. We didn't get into, well, we actually did. We did the entire thing without these. I'm not going to lie. But I didn't
Bastards.
record everything that was supposed to. So, but the concept of everything that we're going over is the state of Destiny 2. That's what it comes down to. We started off a little bit talking about the XP, and then we went into the updates like we're going to kind of do right now. Essentially, with the XP thing, again, you can watch the entire podcast that we did, that I did last week. Look at the link. But essentially, how this all started was a little bit of transparency on Destiny's part, or Bungie's part. They haven't been giving it to us. Over the last week, the community found out that they were shaving the XP a little bit, and depending on your perception, it turns out that either you're super pissed about it because they were doing stuff behind the scenes, or if you're business-minded, you realize that they're trying to protect their investment. Either way, came down to good points by Max, who pointed out that if you're not grinding like an a-hole, you end up basically, not really being affected by it. You keep doing public events, and then basically you're going to get what you pay for. And then I kind of pointed out, and if they had just mentioned it beforehand, nobody would have even gave a shit in the first place. So, again, with the transparency, which leads into today. So that's kind of what we're going over, is the new state of Destiny, which should be a little bit more open and a little bit more revealing. But go ahead, Andy. What do you want to go over next, man?
Well, yeah, let's just go right into the Master Works. That's kind of like the big thing.
I like it.
I like it also.
Um,
Real quick, just so that we can be honest, Max here is to keep both me and Cassius on track, because if not, we'd run off into a tangent or something random, and nothing would be talked about outside of the first fucking thing that would pop up.
Yep, we'll be on that first topic for 48 minutes.
Time, and nothing to be talked about.
Deez,
So
have you at all read through what the Master Works is?
I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I did, but what I can tell you is it sounds like a perfect opportunity for you to explain it to our audience.
Why, thank you.
Also, that meant I didn't read it.
Yeah, got you. Well, the Master Works will have a few advantages over the baseline legendary weapons. Like, you'll be able to track and display the number of kills that, like, with that weapon of choice, you'll have an actual Crucible kill counter on your weapon. I don't know.
That's
That's kind of like what's going on with the ghosts and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, so like the ghosts and
But
banners and different things like that. That's actually pretty cool, especially if if you want to use that as your point for talking about how raw you are. Giving yourself yet another way to track that. I think is great.
Look how many kills I've had on this weapon.
Yeah,
That's
no,
kind of cool.
Right.
You'll also be able to when you have these weapons unlocked as Master Works, you'll be also able to generate orbs for your allies on multi-kills. I don't know, that's like Cassius was saying yesterday when we were talking about it, that could generate more supers in different places.
Definitely. Because that's just, I mean, I think I get my super like once a game, unless I'm just, at least in Crucible, and that's just not enough. And maybe 3 times in a strike. Like at
I've
Yeah.
managed
best.
to pull.
Like
I've managed to pull in Crucible. I've pulled it off 3 times. Was the maximum amount of times I pulled it off. But that's because we were like
Man.
really just fucking
Right.
wrecking them. And then
Man,
also, yeah,
I
you
can
know,
pull
like
2 and I'm
Orpheus
just like, I'm
rigs
asleep.
type situation. You know what I mean? We was getting it in, but that was the only time I was
Right,
able to pull
right.
it off like that.
Yeah. So no, that's definitely good. Anything to get more super in the mix, I'm definitely down.
Yeah,
Alright.
so I don't know, that's a plus. And then also if you have like a certain set like roll on a Masterworks weapon, like if you pick something, you have a chance to actually go and re-roll it as many times as possible until you get something that you like. So that's
Oh,
kind
so
of
they're going
I
back
like
to
that.
re-rolled weapons. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Well, you know what's funny though, because I know for a fact, though I did not read that, I did read quite a few other, columns and different opinion pieces, and they were saying that that was one of the reasons that they wound up canceling that last vid doc for Curse of Osiris was because so many people were pissed off with
Oh yeah.
some of the shit that's going
Oh
on
yeah.
for them to sit there and switch it up. I
Yeah,
think that's
and that-
great that they're finally listening instead of being complete dicks. Like, nah, you'll take it how we give it to you.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of like where this whole thing came because it was just like, this is what they went over instead, just facts, just complete transparency. I mean, I think it might have been a little bit better if they had talked it out. They still should have did the video and just did it on this because some of this stuff, just like when you read it, makes a little bit of sense, but having them kind of explain it out would have been a little bit better. But you baby steps. It's
Yeah, it
good that they're
doesn't-
at least doing that.
It doesn't really resonate when you just read it on paper. Like, oh, all right, that's great, whatever. There's no sense of
That's what we're here
excitement
for,
or
though.
understanding of what's really going on.
Yeah.
'Cause most people really, if they do read it, they're reading it nonchalantly or they're reading it for the negatives. Because really, I gotta say, the Destiny community as of late has been super duper fucking negative.
Salty,
So
man.
salty.
Yeah, I mean, they have been salty emote. It's perfect that they're selling the salty emote for everybody, so you can
Yeah,
all
that's a
buy it
fact.
and equally be salty, like all over
That's
the
a
fucking
fact.
place. Like you should have seen Max earlier. Like seriously, I'm still trying to get salt out of my gloves from him earlier. Like so much salt. So much
Yeah.
salt, and not because he's
Yeah.
mad salty at the game, just because he just literally just kept salting me with the salty emote.
Oh, yeah.
Like one of the things I had an issue with that was a lot of people were like, we came from the end of Destiny with all the fantastic shit that we wound up getting after taking King and Rise of Iron, and it was a completely different game than what we started off with, and then we
Right.
come into Destiny 2 and they're like they pulled so many things back, and at the same time, and I know anyone who hears this is gonna agree, we became loot whores and we know how to work the system. So what winds up happening is the same way we felt about Destiny 1, we'll never feel about another Destiny again because we've already had that experience and we're already past that point. So people who are like, oh, I can't believe Max Light was so low. Then again, if you weren't whoring the entire time and took your time through the fucking play, you probably would have hit 305 within the first 2 weeks, if not in the first
Yep.
month. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm also a victim of that. You remember that shit? I ran through it. In the first day, I was like at 200
yeah.
something light. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's ridiculous, and that's
I
one of
think
the
you were
reasons
up for
why.
like 4 days straight.
Yeah, I was, bro. That shit was insane. There was no shame in my game.
Yeah.
Oh,
But the
man.
game was made better to, like you said, it's by give it a month or so, like everybody's gonna get at 305. I mean, look at Duke. Like he checked out of Destiny 1 like as soon as we got done with the story last time around. Like
Yeah, he
the
did.
game was well made enough for a casual Destiny player to get all the way to the max light. Like that shit don't happen in a lot of games. So yeah, they definitely got some good stuff going, but like you said, just need to be better about the transparency with it. Just
Hey, Deez,
What
did you since you say you didn't read this shit, did you happen to look on the picture where Lord Saladin is? They actually give you a little glimpse of what the new Iron Banner gear is going to look like for
that I
Hunter.
saw with like those samurai plates on the Titan,
Yeah.
like for his arms. I'm so hyped for that shit.
No, those are Hunter, dude. That's all
Those
Hunter.
are Hunter?
yeah, that's a
Ah,
whole
that's
hunter
so
gear.
lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole set is. Yeah, you lucky bastards.
I'm
Both
not
are,
Yeah.
even the
my
thing
Iron
that
Banner gear
the
now.
Shax is showing off, and
Yep.
same thing for. Oh no, well
Sure.
everything's on there for that. Oh, we'll get
Yeah.
down here and talk to Zer because there's
Yeah.
something about Zer that we didn't talk about last time that I didn't even realize what that was.
Oh,
but
all the
we'll
things
go
that
over
they're
that.
finally bringing back which there's
Well,
tons.
let's move into the next topic of like, armor ornaments. Cassius, you wanna
since
take
we're
it from
already
there?
kind of talking about the Iron
Yeah.
Banner stuff, so yeah, it's the whole idea with that. Not even like the ornaments, which is awesome. Kind of like if most of you Destiny veterans kind of remember towards the end of the end of things, our what was it, Iron Wolf gear that we got? I can't think of what it was, but we got these gear that went from looking like this like all fur and stuff to even to turning to like fire, like on the gloves and on the chest piece, with like a nice token. And they
Yeah,
did it
that
with
shit was
some of the
fire.
raid geared stuff too, which was like that stuff looked dope. Well, they're bringing that stuff back, so we
Hmm.
haven't seen it just yet. They haven't shown us exactly what it's looking like, but with some of these, I mean, there was the explanation. I'll have to look for it and see where it said. And again, which is why I wish they had been the ones to kind of explain this to us. But it seems like we're getting a lot of that. You're gonna have the gear that I have now, for example. Like if you are actually watching the podcast, like here's a good look at my character. Um, this helmet, these gloves, these boots, they'll be able to kind of take an ornament thing, kind of like what I have right here with my multi-tool, as you can see right here. I can pull this off, add it on, and it changes the skin. Well, that's what's going to happen with our gear, and man, it's exciting because at least it seems like we'll all be able to finish off our sets, even though we didn't finish everything in Season 1, because who here got a whole damn set of Iron Banner gear? Anybody?
Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me show you someone who did. Oh man, I hate that motherfucker too. He gets me so mad that he got
Oh,
all
I
the
see what I
gear.
mean.
Yeah,
I hate that son of a
he
bitch.
did get it. He did get all of it. Like it's just
Oh,
changing.
this guy did. Oh, nice,
Ah,
nice, nice.
that.
So we got one man that got his whole set. So you
Wait, wait,
bastard,
wait.
look at him, look
Let
at
me
him
hit him with
go.
the soul. You guys
Look
can
at him
take a
go.
look at that full Iron Banner set. So sexy.
But yeah, and then but now if you're watching, you'll be right now. You can't see on everything, but on the recording after we put this together, you'll be able to see what I'm looking at right now, and you can kind of see his helmet a little bit here. I'll select these so you can kind of get a good look at him.
I feel
All right, so
awkward
you
that you
see
want
his
to
helmet
select me,
here,
bro.
how it looks. Shut up. I'm selecting all over you. But see how his face has this nice, little mean, little samurai look to it. He's gonna be able to pop something in that's gonna change the complete look of that. And as you see, it's gonna be super easy to get. No fuss, no muss. He plays 25 matches and he can get an Iron Pledge ornament, so he can change up his helmet, like basic stuff. And we're gonna play 25 matches like in a week, like nothing. So that's gonna happen.
That's the first 2
And that's
days.
what I imagine all of these. Seriously, yeah, that's
The
like two
first 2
days of
days.
doing that. And it's gonna make things a lot better for all of us because and you can't see it now because the Iron Pledge ornament is things behind it. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of gear. So and what does he have on right now? Let's count it out, folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of gear. Everything has one. So it'll be matches, probably a certain kill streak. You'll probably have to do something over like 1.1 kill KD or some shit like that. But way easier than just turning in faction coins and stuff, which is
Yep.
still going to be a thing, but not the only thing you have to rely on, because if you scroll down a little bit more, I think Andy will be able to tell you a little bit about how the faction coins are going to work now for everything, which is going to be just fucking awesome. Really awesome.
Yeah, this is what I really wanted to hear more about, and I'm kind of glad we're talking about it. So go ahead, hit it, Max.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, it
lost his
should just
place.
be right under. Oh, and by the way, sorry, as we switch over to that, these ornaments, folks, aren't just for the banner. As you see right here, we're talking Vanguard, Crucible, Trials of the Nine, Dead Orbit, Future War Code, New Monarchy, and the new Raid Layer armor. So everything's going to be getting ornaments. I didn't mention
That's
that,
so
so that
awesome.
is important too. So hell yeah, so keep that in mind too. But just awesome. That's awesome the way that works. And like I said, Andy will go over kind of how the getting of gear from faction from vendors and stuff is gonna work now, because that shit is so much better, makes so
Yeah.
much more
I
sense.
just love the fact that it's not gonna be just the raid gear. It's gonna be every person who has gear in the whole game gonna have ornaments. Like your Vanguard gear, your Crucible gear, like every
Yep.
type of gear is gonna have ornaments. And remember, you said yesterday, when you were talking to me, that you're able to change your shader and not have to change the ornament.
Oh yes, that is clutch. Where
That's
does it
gonna be
say that
really,
at?
So
really
Yeah.
here's
cool.
here's something, since you brought that up, and I think it's always good to get multiple people's opinion on it. How do you guys feel
Oh yeah.
about the shaders. Like, that shit doesn't bother me. I don't know why people keep flipping out about shaders. Like, it's the end of the fucking world.
Right.
Really, people?
I mean,
I didn't know people.
Yeah, no, people definitely flip out about shaders. The fuck is this one time you shader? And I'm like, you get a bunch of them, bro.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The fact that they changed it from what it was, just from simple, here's the shader, put it on this, it goes on everything. I mean, it's stupid, but I mean, I got over it pretty fast. The only thing I don't like about the shaders is the fact that I can't dismantle more than one at a time. Like, if they can change that,
if they could let me just take whole
I
blocks of them,
I can deal. Yeah, that's it. I can deal. I mean, maybe lower the price on adding some of those things on. It's ridiculous for them to be anything more than 1,500 glimmer. I think 2,500 is pushing it, you know, for a fucking shader. But
well,
I
it
mean,
depends on what you're putting it on. I guess if you look at it like that, like, you know, if you're painting a ship, I guess that's gonna cost some bread. But I think it's pretty fucking ridiculous.
I can deal with that. I can accept that. I can accept that based on the size of what you're shading. All right, I can deal.
Horrible,
I can deal with
bro.
that.
I'm not even gonna tell you how that fucking sounded.
You're casting mad shade on this ship right now.
Wild amounts.
But no, that shit is. I mean, like you said, it's. I could take it or leave it, but again, if I could just dismantle more of them at a time, I think I wouldn't even give a shit about even having the shaders.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that if you dismantle them, you get bright dust, or whatever we call it.
Yeah, glimmer. No, that's it. Bright dust.
Yeah, see, and that's something else that I thought was
for...
pretty cool. You know, the more exclusive the shader, the more exclusive the ship. You know, they're giving you something that you can use toward, you know, where they monetize, which is pretty cool. I thought that was awesome. Because you have motherfuckers who sit there and go ham on those bright engrams. You remember that shit when we first started? Those motherfuckers literally pouring wallets out in those bright engrams.
Right.
Dude,
and they didn't have to do that. Me,
I just spent 3,200 on this salty emo.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
He said, you know how much dust I had to screw together?
Yes.
That is ridiculous.
I was like the Tony Montana of dust.
Wow.
A table full of bright dust. I like it.
Bright dust.
I like it.
So they call me the bad guy.
Oh man. But yeah, like you can actually use those tokens, use shaders, or not shaders, but shards to straight up buy gear and stuff now.
That's what I thought was awesome.
Yes.
So
and
also the changes affecting the reputation tokens, like daily challenges will have reputation tokens awards increase across the board, like, and then the cave treasure chests still offer variable rewards, but now it's guaranteed at a minimum to pay out of destination appropriate. Like it's never gonna be like nothing coming out of like a chest, the cave 6 chest. You know, like that glitch is gonna be gone.
Well, honestly, I think it only happened to me twice.
Oh really?
Yeah,
no.
But I always wound up, if I didn't get it right there when I got back to my postmaster, it was there. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, for the most part, I never really had that issue.
Dude, just this week I did the first 4 chests and all of them blink.
Oh yeah, that used to be the problem for me. I had told you before that shit was an issue for me a couple of times. So I'm surprised that you don't have that issue. These as ADD as you are about opening shit.
Oh, you know I'm all over that shit. Yeah, but then I would just go check my postmaster and it'd be there. So I'd be like, all right, you know what? I shouldn't have maybe yelled out fuck so many times. So, and then I, you know, kind of had to apologize to the people around me and my neighbors.
Maybe I need to pay my postmaster more because they be leaving shit all out on the battlefield when I be out there fucking around. They're like, nah, that's Cassius. He don't need this.
Oh,
he don't need
hold
that.
on, guys. DZ got a chat. Let's see. Black King 503 says, "What does that shit cost now? I ain't like they are painting me it for what? What is he writing?
Right, I'm gonna help you because you're struggling there, but
it
he says it's not like they're paying it for
like
me, painting it for me.
Yeah.
I'm the one putting it in. And pause on the putting it in, bro. You gotta relax with this chat, son. Yo,
He's the one putting it in.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, if you want to change the aesthetic of it, I get why they're charging you. Because before, everyone sat at max glimmer and we never spent glimmer on anything. And now it's giving you a reason to have glimmer and to spend it. So, you know, it doesn't feel like you have a useless currency. That currency has a reason to be around.
I think that they are, because Glimmer's supposed to be in the lore of this game programmable matter in a fucking, when it comes down to it, right? Like, things shouldn't cost Glimmer. You should need the Glimmer to make whatever it is that you're trying to get. You know, gun, fucking armor, and you know what you should be able to do with it? Make ammo. Just like Fortnite, just be able to you have Glimmer or whatever it is, maybe Glimmer in some sort of resource, but you have to have so much of it. But you can make so much of it, and you should be able to pop as many as you need. But maybe your ghost can only make so much, and it'll need a cooldown before you can make more. Like, I thought that should be a good ass use for Glimmer, since you have so much of it. Just like you said, it gives you something to use it for. Just make ammo out.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, that would be so clutch.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
that much I do agree with, but you know, it's just when you compare it where they tried to make improvements, I think they did a good job, but it's just what winds up happening is all of us get used to something and we'll be damned if it changed. So even if it's good or bad, once we're used to it, if you change it, it's always going to be met with a negative response. Even if it's a good change, right? Mm-hmm. We'll be like, well, before it was better, or before it was like this. So, motherfucker, times changed. Let's keep it moving, right? And that's what I feel a lot of the complaints were about Destiny 2.
Oh, but just wait, because a lot of that's coming back. So as we're going through this, because basically a lot of what we're touching on is stuff that used to be another game. So like, just like you called it, people are calling for this, but just like you say, as soon as it goes up, they're still gonna bitch. Like they're still gonna be like,
why
it's still not,
me this if I already had it before. Yeah. No one's ever gonna be 100% satisfied. That's just not how people work. But what I can say is the community, even though there was a lot of bitching, that bitching has something that came from it, which was these changes that we were looking for the whole time. Some of the things that we wanted before from last game, we're getting again in this game because of the bitching. So it's not all bad. It's just how you approach it. If you're just going to be fucking annoying about it, like, no one's going to want to hear it. But if you approach it in a positive manner and you say, hey, yo, listen, these are the reasons why we feel like this or whatever. So, and what are we going to do to improve our overall gaming experience? I think that's a way better route to go than some of the shit I heard. Like, this game is fucking trash. It's a DLC. Yeah. Motherfucker, we bitched about story, we got story. You know what I'm saying? We bitched about tons of different things, and then we get it. Did they take some shit out? Yeah. Of course. They're not going to give you everything, bro. That's not how it works. You know how much money it takes for these motherfuckers to make a game? Of course they're going to hold back. Like, come on. That's like if... I don't get it.
And to scale, I mean, and that's what I used to kind of think about, because think of everybody bitches about the end game, and they're like, oh, there's just not enough to do and stuff. I'm like, all lies, because I bet you, I 100% guarantee you, most of those people haven't even finished like their adventures and stuff for their character, because I haven't. There's plenty of stuff for you to do in the game when it comes down to it, but to scale, like, if you think about it, you're playing in first person. So if it was like if it was third person, I think the actual worlds and thing would be bigger because your character would be, yay big, and you'd have a much larger world, kind of like Division. Things would be taller and bigger because you're a smaller character. But you're looking at the world through first person. So based on that, I think there's plenty of space for you to do things. There's plenty of stuff to do. People are just, like you said, they're just spoiled, man. There's just, I don't know. Maybe more strikes, maybe a more variety of strikes, and definitely some more things for Crucible. But the actual game itself, there's plenty of it, man. There's plenty of stuff to do in this game. Plenty of things to find out. Plenty of lore. All of it's in the game. You don't got to go to a grimoire no more. Like,
don't get me wrong. I gotta give credit where credit was due. That grimoire, even though it was a pain in the ass to find all the pieces and start reading it, when you actually read the whole fucking thing, this story was fucking laid out, bro.
Yeah.
But it's
no
just,
doubt.
Who's really going to go through that beside motherfuckers who are really into the game? So when you take that step back for a second and you're like, damn, kid, I'm sitting here and I'm hearing about all this story. You probably didn't get all the Grimoire cards. I know I didn't. I know even some of these lore masters that I watched, they didn't get it. They had to find the other cards on, places like Ishtar Collective and shit like that to be able to view the entire story. Like, that says a lot that you have to put in that much work to find out the story. Now we have it here. Could it be improved with an addition of something like a grimoire card or something like collectibles that would give you more information about the story? I think that would be awesome. But overall, I think they did a good job.
Yeah, I think it could be narrated, like kind of like how the Mass Effect codec used to be. Just have somebody in there talking it, just speaking it out. Not telling a story, just kind of going over it in a way that helps you understand, especially some of the words, because some of those words they have in there are ridiculous.
Yeah, you're not pronouncing that
No.
shit.
Destiny.
You're not pronouncing those names.
That's not how Bungie does it though. They're gonna hire some famous voice to come in and do that shit.
And then change it because they don't sound fucking like they're in it at all.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want this job.
Dude,
Fuck
I'm
this
fine
job.
with it. They can have Morgan Freeman read that shit to me, and it'll be
Dude.
fantastic.
Oh,
Morgan
totally,
Freeman
totally
on some
down.
memoir cards would be fire.
Yeah, dude.
What are you talking about? That
It
shit
would
be
just
lit.
double the amount of hours I would put into Destiny.
Oh my god.
Oh God, it
That's-
would. And you can just sit in somewhere like this, like in a kiosk, and he can just read stuff off to you. Or you can just read it from a kiosk in your ship, and you can just be in orbit,
That'd be
just
so
listening to the
lit.
sweet,
I'd be
sweet
like, tell
tones
me
of Morgan
more
Freeman.
about Savathun, Morgan Freeman. I want to know.
You're right.
Tell me more.
Can you imagine if, like, at the end, like, the Traveler's voice is Morgan Freeman?
I hope so.
Right, yo, the
I
Traveler
hope
could be
so.
Morgan Freeman. There's so many Morgan Freeman options in this game that we haven't discussed, and I think we need to explore more. On.
We'll do a whole podcast.
A whole
on the Freeman
podcast on where
options.
Morgan Freeman could be put in the game.
Oh man, but
Geez, let me tell you about something. It's really cool. So, with the update coming, like if you're a person who never got through the raid and you're gonna go through the raid layer and stuff like that, as you collect reputation coins from the raid, you'll be able to just turn them in at what's his name, the android? Benedict. Yeah, you'll be able to just turn them in without having to complete the raid and get raid gear.
I think that's good for people who haven't got an opportunity to finish the raid.
I think that's awesome. Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
yeah. No doubt, no doubt. Fucking but yeah, just to make sure that we did kind of get a chance to go over it. If you didn't get a chance to hear, you'll be seeing it on the screen at the time when we go over it. But yeah, you'll be able to go over your factions, buy certain. You'll still be able to turn in your coins and still get your drops or whatnot from your engrams or whatnot from filling up your faction. But yeah, you'll be able to just go straight over, buy gear, buy an armor piece, buy some of these things that you want to put and turn into a masterwork. I'm assuming we'll be able to get weapons at some point. Right now it looks like just gear, but it's supposed to rotate, so we'll be able to get rotating stuff. But I wanted to talk about the faded engram because we didn't talk about that last time, Andy. Did you get a chance to go over what that is?
The what?
The faded engram that we're going to be able to buy from Xur?
No, I didn't. I totally missed it.
So the faded engram, supposedly, it's an engram it says on here, with a predestined outcome. It will contain a new exotic if any
you haven't
remain
got
to be
yet.
collected.
Yeah. That's the problem,
Specifically
though. How
designed
many
to get
more-
you what you want.
How many more exotics are they going to have for that to be something that's going to be? And once again, we're going to go through the same problem.
It's got to be seasons, I'm guessing.
People are going to be hoeing it out something crazy. And by the time that comes around for us to do it, they'll probably have had all the fucking engrams because they went through all three of their characters. And, it's just, once again, we've taken this shit to a science. You know what I mean? Every time something drops,
Oh, yeah.
we find a workaround. Every time something drops, we put in wild man hours. Every time something drops, we fucking destroy it. Like, as a community, Destiny players are monsters, bro. They are fucking savages. So it's like, it's hard to think how that's going to be something cool when by the time it comes around, we'll be like, what the fuck is the point of this? Because I already have all the exotics.
It just depends on what they bring with the DLC. Like, if they
Yeah.
bring, like, a whole new set of exotics, like, say if they really go by what they're saying, like, after this, what we got, even for exotics in the season are done. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure I got everything for both of my characters. I have to check on my Titan, but if that's it and it's a whole new set, it'll be cool for the first month because then you'll be able to get a couple bits, that you need. I wouldn't even buy them. I mean, I'd buy them and probably sit on them until, I actually started to get to those last bits of gear because I didn't even get the Star Prior Protocol until Xur brought it last week. So there was actually one piece of something I didn't have. But no, you're right. Fools are gonna be sitting on fucking Xur's Day, sitting there with all their legendary shards, just popping the shit out of them things. And
Speaking
just
of
get their whole
which, I
shit
still don't
done.
have the Orpheus
And
ring. I still don't got him.
no, maybe he'll bring it Friday.
Mhm.
Actually tonight.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
shit, it is tonight. Good call. Good call. All
It
right,
is.
hold up. I got a question. Uh,
Oh,
so
we
was
gotta
there a
get
good reason
Oh yeah.
why they changed the banner? And do you guys like how light level means nothing now? So
Hate it.
with that, one, yes, definitely hate it. Two, uh, I think they're only doing that right now so that they can have inclusion in it. Just because they weren't sure how many people made it up to max light level, with as many people didn't do the raid. So I see the reason behind it. Does it suck? Yes, because at no time should anyone at like 250 be able to even touch me when I'm 305. Never mind you, I'm
Yeah.
305. I'm a beast, so you're gonna take these hands. I should be able to do it even quicker and move on to the next motherfucker because I'm a 305. So yeah, I
Right.
definitely agree. I think they need to bring the, and same thing with Trials of Osiris. Well, I apologize. Trials of the Nine. It,
Right.
it should matter as well.
And you know what? I think that they didn't bring it back, and this could just be me, but I think they didn't bring it back just yet because it didn't work right. Because even back then, when we were doing it, in Destiny 1, there were times where you would just like you said, you'd be running around, max level, and then here comes some a-hole who's, 240, 250 something, and, he's got a, maybe a exotic weapon or whatever, doesn't matter, but you guys meet up and you're just like, how the hell did you just even do any damage on me at all? So maybe they're still kind of tweaking that shit. Like maybe it's something that'll come, they'll get it sorted out, but maybe they just ain't got it
Well,
right just yet.
the
Could be.
the reason that is because I think it's just the connection issues. The servers. We need to have actual dedicated, you know, servers for Destiny. So when we play online, there's no connection issues. You're
Yeah.
actually seeing what's in front of you.
Oh, right, right. Oh, and also we didn't. Are we gonna go over that? Yeah. You know what? Also, something else too. Since we're kind of talking about that, they are supposed to be changing something too in the Crucible with Oh, where is it on here? We didn't get a chance to go over it last time. Where are you? Doesn't say. Um, skill-based matchmaking. That's coming.
Oh, that's
Rank
awesome.
mode. Yeah, not soon. So again, that's me jumping into shit from 2018, but they are supposed to be bringing that, which I actually did kind of like that that's going to be a thing. Like actually being able to be matched up with people that are, not necessarily at my skill level, but I'm so sick of running into tryhards in there that kind of pisses me off, even if,
Hmm.
even if it doesn't happen so often. But, I just happened to just think of that while we are just kind of talking about the Crucible. It just popped in my head, like, you know, good changes like that could help out with that whole not being able to have the right armor level. You know what I mean? At least you're fighting somebody at the same skill level. Maybe that could compensate for it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that maybe that'll help. Who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, no. Good that's actually a good ass point. Good king, good shit, King. Hell yeah. And then what else we got to unpack here? Oh, Banshee. Banshee's got some updates
Banshee.
too, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. And
You'll be able
you
to. Oh my
get it?
goodness, yeah. Finally,
Yeah.
you'll be able
No,
to
go
buy
over it.
mods.
Oh,
You'll
you'll
be
be
able
able
to
to
buy
buy
mods.
mods. Oh, right.
Yes. So he'll be selling like like actual like kinetic mods, so solar mods, void mods, arc mods, body like armor
Oh,
mods and
Oh, the
so
Paragon
awesome.
mods and stuff like
balancing
that.
weapon mods and all that. Yeah, and they'll rotate every day
Oh, that's
to
awesome.
different ones.
Yeah.
That's like the nice icing on the cake.
Yeah. None of that wait until Tuesday come around. It's
Yep.
like every day. New shit. 2 a.m. or whatever a.m. it is for you. Just so helpful, man. So fucking helpful.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna say
helpful.
that East
Yeah.
Coast shit. It
Yeah.
ain't 2 a.m., son. You gotta wake up butt fuck early for this.
Yeah, it's like damn 5 for you now. It's like 3 for me, 5 for you, 2
Yeah,
for them. It's all over the place. It's way too
fucking, it's
crazy.
foolishness. Goddamn it, foolish.
Oh yeah, so much foolishness. But yeah, I mean, a lot of good stuff in their direction. Now, as we kind of get down here towards the end of stuff, I ask you guys, do you think it's enough? Like, I mean, it's definitely a good turn in the right direction, but here we are, they tapered off, definitely over the last 2, 3 weeks. It's good that they have, new DLC coming. A lot of what happened last week kind of made people a little bit salty. So, the 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 opening next week probably isn't going to be as big as it could have been. But do you think it's enough? Like, going into the next year, do you think they need to start moving towards something else to already let us know that what's coming beyond this, or do you think that's
Now I got a
think this is
question.
going to cover
Did they confirm heroic strikes again? Like we're gonna go back to the different strike levels? Because I could have
it?
swore I
Ooh,
saw a screenshot from Osiris
there's
showing heroic strikes.
something with strikes, but I can't remember. It is Vanguard strikes are coming back. They are having different
There we
levels of
go.
the strikes. I can't remember what the specific is, but you're right. It is something coming out with the
And
strikes.
then with Curse of Osiris, it's two
Let's see
new
if I can
strikes we're
find
getting,
it.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
In December, yeah, into December we'll be introducing a heroic strikes playlist.
There we
More
go.
generous strike rewards. Adventures for lost sectors are still on the radar, but not will be delivered until the December updates. So yeah, definitely some stuff coming in the strikes and stuff. So good changes. I mean, good little things to unpack, little bits. You think it's enough to bring them all back though? What do you think?
I definitely do. I think we're in a good place.
I would like to think so.
I think as soon as we get
I mean,
we get done crying about shit, we'll be alright.
I know we're not supposed to really talk about future stuff, but I mean, they had me at, like a forge table. Like
Oh yeah, the
forging,
forge table.
forging.
Yep.
Wild amounts of
Definitely.
building shit. You hear fucking blacksmith Max fucking sitting there.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to get down on that table.
Yep.
Wow, you can't wait
And
to get down on that table?
He's a
Sounds
man
great,
on the table,
bro.
folks.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna spend a lot
And
of
we
time
did
there.
kind of go over it too. I forgot. We talked about that, and I was thinking that. Do you think that's where all the changing of your weapon, like re-rolling, is going to happen at the forge table? Because since is it just for forging the stuff for the DLC, or is it forging for other stuff too? Because maybe that's what's to come. Being able to forge more shit. Right out of that table. Because
I
that could
Yeah,
be
think
fun.
that's
well,
most likely what it's gonna be.
yeah.
Seems like
And
it could be.
what's it called? I think I read somewhere also that like if you're looking to like if you haven't gotten a drop for like a Masterworks weapon, Master Rahul will sometimes, I think he's gonna be selling legendary engrams for legendary shards to be able to get those Masterworks rolls because there's a chance of dropping one when you're decrypting an engram.
Oh wow.
Ah,
That's gonna be really
nice.
cool. So like dude, they have a good system of like flow of like currency and movement, like I feel like
Right.
everyone's gonna be busy for a while and we'll see how everything's gonna be.
Yeah. Seems like kind of like because wasn't it in Dark Below when we started getting infusion and getting all that stuff? Like it seems
Yeah, it
like
was Dark Below that
Hmm.
it started.
yeah, it seems like a switch kind of like that, but like almost a little bit of it going back to what we had before with a little bit of a mix of what Destiny 2 is gonna have. Not anything as drastic as like that is, but kind of feels like something like that to me. Like everything's gonna be a lot different, but in a easier to understand type of way. Seems like it.
Easy to swallow pill,
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely need to start passing some of those out because man, them pills lately,
Yo,
them pills have been harsh.
it,
Hell yeah.
I'm glad we're getting something new. And if you think about it, the game's not very old for them to hit us with a DLC. And
Mm-mm.
though, like I said, some of the critiques are
Oh
valid
yeah.
that people come with. Like why is it that a DLC is coming out so fast? Why didn't we have more game? And is this just part of the original game that they decided to break up? Like I said, there's a lot of
Right.
critiques and a lot of questions that I feel are valid, but at the same time, it's
Hmm.
like they gonna get us one way or another. So I much rather you just give me the best quality shit, and I'll give you my money. I have no issues giving you
Right.
my money if it's quality. You know what I'm saying? The base game to me was quality. Could it have been better? Everything could be better. Was I like, I'll never
Always.
play this again? Are you fucking stupid? I jump on every week. So, that tells you I thought it was quality. So I felt like my money was well spent. And the DLCs, no matter, even if they're trash, right? We all know we're going to buy them, right? But with all the information they've given us, you already know that's not the case. and they're gonna want to hit us with a whole nother season's pass worth of shit. So they're gonna continue coming with that heat. So keeping a positive outlook on it, I think, and voicing our opinions, both negative and positive, are gonna help them direct the way that they're gonna go with what we're looking for.
Yeah. And it seems to be good. And we're only going over, for the most part, we touched on a couple things at the end of the year, next year. But yeah, we're only going over the stuff that we just know that's coming out over the next 2 to 3 weeks, folks. So
yeah,
they have a good bit of stuff that we'll go over it over the next couple of weeks. You guys definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, it like you said, staying positive about it. It's all gonna be going in the right direction. Hopefully people will just kind of get over it and just realize, especially now, because we're at that point to where games have stopped coming out. The last thing that's going to be coming out is going to probably be soon. I can't think of what game is coming out next, but that's it for the season. So now people can focus. You can all hang out, play Destiny, and then stop saying that there's other things for you to play, because there's not. Go ahead, get your get your sets, start getting your raid teams together. There's going to be 2 raids for you to do. One mini one full, another full one. It'll be bumped up with more stuff. So more Destiny to play, and hopefully better Destiny to play. It seems like too.
And like you said yesterday, at least let's hope that someone from Anthem is listening in on all this, and hopefully they create a damn good game, and they have a full spectrum of what not to do.
Well, let's be honest on that one really quickly, right? That's BioWare doing it, and whenever they have anything good that they're starting off with, they tend to somehow fuck it up. So now, do I think that they're gonna take any leads from what they're seeing now? No, I think they're gonna say. They're going to say, how can I milk this for the most amount of money, and then somehow fuck it up. So that's honestly how I feel about it. And then, obviously we already seen how bad EA fucked shit up with Star Wars. They had to change the whole thing, bro.
EA is ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong, because that's who's going to be at the base of this Anthem business. But no, I'm kind of leaning more towards like Andy. I really feel like they're sitting back watching it, because if they can make, because it's Mass Effect. It's essentially they're taking the Mass Effect type of game, putting it all on one planet. It seems like, and then adding in the Destiny like type of aspect to it, to where you'll have a nice storyline. You'll probably be able to interact with people with like a dialogue wheel, some goofy shit like that. But if they really are paying attention to what's going wrong, I mean, I'm with Andy, man. They could they got that and the Division to watch to see what not to do. Oh, yeah. If they're paying attention.
Let's not go over the Division, because the Division was a clusterfuck, and it was a good game, great story, just a clusterfuck.
Better now. A lot better now.
I wish Ubisoft would have did with the Division like what they did with Rainbow Six, where they sat there and put so much time and effort that Rainbow Six does more, literally consistent numbers now of players on that shit, better than when it launched. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think they definitely tried and changed a lot of it, but I think because it's a bigger world that they had to work with, they definitely tried to do what they could, but those are the only 2 examples out there, and like you said, clusterfuck. Like they didn't get it right the first time out. So, in a perfect world, next year we'll be hearing about Anthem, the greatest shared world shooter thing that's ever made, or in the world that these just pointed out, we'll be like, man, fuck.
That's the one I'm.
I just want more good games. I got. And also, King had a question. He said instead of the weapons having the same roles, just the burn is different. I think going back to the random role would keep players engaged, trying to find that role they want. To answer you, King, that kind of is what's happening with the Masterworks. You'll be able to make every weapon customized, because you'll be able to roll it to like something like we don't know exactly what perks. It could be impact, it could be reload, it could be a bunch of different things.
Dragonfly, different things like that.
Yeah,
we don't know exactly, but that's how you'll be able to do that. The Masterworks.
Also, Black King, to address your there goes your BioWare sponsor. I don't think BioWare's watching.
BioWare don't give shits. But yeah, and then also with the Masterworks, like those multiple drops and shit you get, King, you'll be able to what does it say here? You can unwind. They can be dismantled into materials that can upgrade an existing legendary weapon that you have into a
Yep.
masterwork. So like when you start getting double drops, you're just like, man, well, I just want to go ahead and put it into my, into this hand cannon. You can do that. You can keep on getting stupid ass raid drops that are the same, melt that down
Yeah.
into a masterwork. So they're
I love
and
that idea.
yeah, and again, maybe you get something that reloads faster. Maybe you get something that gets you some brace frame or something. So hopefully, it sounds like on paper that it could work, a little bit better. We'll find out a little bit next week, in a couple of
Yeah.
days. Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Damn, yo,
Well,
that's
shit.
like right
Well,
around the
shit,
corner. I
folks.
just noticed that shit.
Yeah, man. Dude, that's what I was telling Andy today. It came so fast, especially because they pissed everybody off last week. So it almost feel like, this last week didn't even happen. It went by so fast. Oh yeah. But shit. I mean, anything else? I think that's about it, fellas. I feel like we've touched back on everything again in a good way too, not in a creepy uncle way.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. There was no candy offered. This was a good combo.
Oh,
Very nice. Very nice. Well, that's it, folks. We're gonna wrap this up. That's Comms Chatter Live for everybody that joined in. I'm gonna edit it up, throw in, everything that we were talking about visually. You'll be able to see it on the recording I'm gonna put out, and I'm gonna figure out actually how to turn this into a podcast. So if you want to ride around and listen to it, you'll have it there too. But as always, my co-host will always be over here on my left, I guess it is, on my screen. We got Max Torque, and of course we got J2 Live, aka D730, over here on my left.
Yep.
Folks,
So, real quick, just throwing out some shout outs for everyone who's jumped into the room, especially Black King, being so vocal. And also asking if we want to play Fortnite. So
did he actually say that too?
Yes,
at the
that's
end? Nice
exactly.
Fortnite.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Definitely, when you guys get a chance, check out Instant Transmission Gaming with my boy CashusBucks. You obviously already on the channel. If you're watching, definitely
I'm
subscribe.
gonna salt you up. Yes.
Y'all ridiculous with all this damn salt. Let me throw some too. So definitely subscribe,
So much salt.
share, like, comment. We
Yes.
appreciate y'all. And we were discussing it, so we might turn this into a weekly thing. We're definitely gonna do it again. Probably either launch or day before launch of the DLC.
Yeah.
I'll definitely put some info out to let people know. So keep a lookout for that. Once again, thanks so much. This is Jay, 2 Live Gaming, Instant Transmission Gaming, CashusBucks, Max Torque. Appreciate y'all. We out.